Morning, folks. It's, see what Mr. Tablet says, Wednesday, 8:10 a.m. Wednesday, February 1st, 2017. Calendar. There's a couple of things that are important I want to talk to you about. The Drachk attacking some Federation planets because of what they were doing. The attack's over. They're doing cleanup on the 4th planet right now, but and they explain to you who the Federation were and everything else. Also, this issue with Q.E.E.G, what he just went through. I'm going to explain that in a minute. He wasn't attacked. He was given an opportunity to stop, and rethink what he's doing in his life right now. When you have a government that's doing so many bad things, when there's so many different branches that have their own department, what most people call black ops, you know, it's all things against other people's rights, their personal rights. All creation's equal. And the new law about to come out is that others will understand that. That'll be filtering out here to the 3rd dimension, but I'm speaking about the 2nd dimension, the dimension that runs everything. It's right above us. I'm going to be as quiet as possible. I've had Deanna Stain here with me for a while since I got out of the hospital. She's sinus is all messed up. She's been a lifesaver. But the time that you're living in right now is of such importance, not just to you, not just to your family, not just to this planet, but creation itself. Excuse me. We're going to get into the main topics here in just a second. Creation has always been run by the other side. People praising God and everything, you know, which is, if you I mean, I did that when I was a little kid. I was told to, didn't know better, and I started figuring stuff out real quick, and I started to learn how to trust my feelings. We can have a hard time trusting other people, but isn't the hardest thing for us usually is to trust ourselves. These bodies that we're in, these are literally vehicles that we drive around and have a life. They're almost the perfect, there's no such thing as perfect, so I'm using this very loosely. But they're almost a perfect type of jail. It's like a car that you go into. A body's like a car, a vehicle you go into, like a car. They weld the door shut, and you can't get out until the car dies. Yeah, the 2 parts of the Kundalini. The second part is the actual spirit from the essence from the planet that was broken off from Gaia a little over 11 million years ago. There's a lot of new people coming here, and how do I know this stuff? What's this baloney I'm talking about? You know, I have no low self-esteem, no self-issues, no self-esteem issues. I know what I am. If anything, I need to be sure that I remind people that I realize that I'm no better than anything else. Nothing is. Nothing's any better than me. If you're going to have a creation that can actually move forward in a clear, positive manner where it grows properly, you have to have, just because something exists, it has to be equal to everything else. And then when it becomes abusive and aggressive towards others, then it's dealt with. How do I know this? Well, I'm very, very much awake. My who I am inside, my spirit. I'm part of this thing called Arae. I do go back to the very beginning of lives. I remember the birth of creation. That's why in these books, she's got her laptop up here. Deanna's so precious. All my family members are. They're so incredible. Such wonderful, beautiful people. As folks wake up, start waking up, you start learning more, seeing more, feeling more, understanding more about what's really going on around you. A little better than 3% of the population, of the humanoid population on this planet, is aware of who they really are. There's over 6 billion people on this planet. Actual people that can see the other side and know what's going on, less than 20. Less than 20. The strongest ones that are ready to go, you're going to find on thespiritualfoundation.com on the consults page. Gee, this sounds like an advertisement. No, it's not. I get plenty of contacts, you know, YouTube and the rest of them. It's like, start putting commercials on your videos. You know, we'll even pay you. No. I talk about Q.E.E.G. There's a box back here somewhere. It's hidden down there. Q.E.E.G. That's great stuff. I tell you about it. I get some coffee I like it. I might tell you about it. Vitamins that are good for you. I tell you about them. Different vitamins for the brains, for your brains. Hopefully, you only have one. Excuse the slurping. I do that. Hot coffee. Speaking about two brains, it's almost like sometimes you have two brains because you have two spirits within you. The planetary essence that Gaia broke off a whole bunch of that one time, like I said, just over 11 million years ago. It's in your head, and it's sentient energy. It's spirit. It's one person that's in your body. You are the larger part in your body. When people go to die, how come people hold on to the body so hard? You know, well, the main part of you is tired, wants to get out of there, but that body, the planetary essence that's inside you, the only thing it's ever had towards being a planet is that momentary physical body. The bodies have all the same materials that this planet has. That's where they originally came from, okay? So when it goes in the body, that's the closest thing it'll ever have for a planet, and it knows it only has so much time, so it holds on, you know, so desperately. And that's why a lot of people just don't want to die, where the spirit's ready to go and the body says hell. And once it's been beat up enough and it's, you know, being hit too hard and going through too much crap, then the planetary essence inside you, the second part of your kundalini, those two snakes, the old Indian folks used to talk about going up your body, and I mean from India. Forgot the name of them, begins with an S. Anyway, they finally let go when the body's been through enough crap. So, and each part of the spirit of the planet that's in there, that's an individual. They're all different. Anyway, so where'd you come from? What's going on? This is the only book that exists at the moment. The other some of my other family members. What we are inside is source. It's clean source, spirit from Lily Arae. This book is the first book, and right now the only book, that'll actually tell you who you are, what you are, where you originated, where you actually came from. People think things, they thought, no, this is just what is, period, okay? Not trying to beat up on anyone else. I had to write these books before this body died for a reason. This is my last life. I've had more lives than anything else, 10.846 trillion, okay? Anyway, small book. You can get it on thespiritualfoundation.com. You can get it at eCreateSpace. You can get it on Amazon.com. You can get it on Kindle, cheap. Anyway, this is where it all came from, this thing called God. What is it? Where did it come from? Is it still alive? Answer to that is no. People talk about praising something. If something was worth your praise, would it want it, number one? And number two, would it allow it? You have, those of you, hopefully there's a lot, but I know there's a good number of people, most people have parents that do care about them and love them, even though there's problems. Life is made to have problems. The original first being male and female, while they were alive, they made that happen. The more abuse they put into you while you were growing, while you're going through that life, the more abuse they put into you, that when you came out of the body, you grow more. When you come out of a body, your spirit comes out and poof, it grows a little bit. But when you come out of a body and you've been abused in that life really hard, you come out and you go poof. Your spirit actually grows in size. The problem is it builds abusive frequencies in there. They're not some of your frequencies that go cancerous or something. They're literal abuse frequencies that are added to you, and it really disrupts the flow of your calm, your natural growth. It screws you up. Okay, that's what was going on, and that's why the original first being male and female, who once they knew that, refused to change. They liked it. They wanted everybody to get bigger, so that December 21st, 2012, they're going to take the larger spirit mates, put them together, put them into a universe by themselves, and have them release a third of their energy. Well, if they're a lot bigger, when they release a third of their energy, they're going to let loose, instead of releasing 100 million, they might release 1 billion new people, and all these new people had to say, praise Mother Father God, praise Mother Father God. It's like the stuff Sylvia Brown used to talk about, and I'm not beating her up. This life was rough on her. She's still relaxing, kind of healing up. She loves information. She's really cool, but this life, you know, she was there to talk about Mother, Father, God. Anyway, this is the second book, okay, creation. The first one was creation, this beginning, your origin. This is creation, this journey evolving into paradise. True paradise, no. Paradise compared to what you've been through, yes. You live your life working in the mines, and then you come out, and then you see the sunlight, and you're free. To you, that's paradise. Okay, why am I saying all this? This is relative to what's going on with Q.E.E.G. There's a new format coming to creation. It's almost here. It's already been worked on. All the big problems, including the original first being male and female. It was one being, and it split itself into male into two different parts, slightly different, so it would have company. And that was the incidental birth of male and female. Excuse me, or creation of whatever. So, oh, by the way, for those of you that are trying to wake up, I used to make runes. This book is about Jara's Runes of Awakening. My name is J. Essex. Legal name is John David Essex. A lot of folks call me Jara. Whatever. What I'm trying to do is what I am inside is Arae. So it's J. Essex, so I just put in between the two, I'm Arae. You know, I'm trying to, what's a name? A name is something that's like a way for people to have like a focal point of thought process to know they're talking about the same thing. Whether I'm called Shitbot or Bitsu, it doesn't matter. A name is a name. It's just trying to describe it and link it to other stuff. These are some of the runes that are inside. Diana Ramirez Anaya put these together. She's awesome. She's also the one that runs the spiritualfoundation.com. Here's some more. This is the Elder Fruth Arc plus other runes. The card deck. The other runes you won't find anywhere, okay? They come from other planets and everything else, and they literally just came out of my head. Here's an old one. Okay, Manaz. Here's one of the new ones. Okay? That's just Sui straight up. That's hard energy. Okay? It's relative to, that's where that, it's like a person, that's the dot up there, wherever I pointed, that's relative to the heart chakra. It talks about, it helps you use the different, it helps you go ahead and, as an exercise, to go ahead and turn on your different focal points within your body, you know, your energy focal points within your body. You can use it to talk with your spirit guides, animal spirit guides everywhere. I'm going to do a video pulling a few of these cards later. Now there is a video that's out, Jar's Runes of Awakening DVD, that you can only get at the spiritualfoundation.com, and we're trying to get all this done. Deanna and I do everything for it, so it's kind of rough. But it explains the cards. I start in the DVD. I pull every card. I pull them all out and explain them. So that's to help you learn how to talk with your spirit guides. Folks can use these together. You can do it alone or with other people, make a game of it. You can go through the deck and take out the cards that are relative to different areas. There's the upper crown, okay? There's the upper crown where it says it's open, close it, power it up, shut it down hard. There's a scanner. People, what's a scanner? Yeah. Gee, no one's ever talked about the scanner. I go into people's brains and I crank you up. I make you really strong. I have family members, that those 20 that I was telling you about waking up, they can do that. The majority of them are found on thespiritualfoundation.com. But that's not where all of them are. But that's where the most of them are. So, right, like I was saying, there's 20 people on the planet that can do it right now. There's less than 20 that are ready to go. Anyway, it's important they understand everything. To crank them up, make them stronger, helps them out, but at the same time, it's different than actually understanding everything going on. They have to take the time to look and see and feel. And everyone listed there can do exactly that. Anyway, Stephen Lewandowski, he's one of the strongest telepaths on the planet, and he's been going through hell for a long time. So that's going to be fixed. It'll be fine. A lot of my family's been tortured by the original first being male and female. That's been mostly being taken care of. And now everyone's growing a bit. I put out a video talking about what's this Drachk attack in the Federation and everything. January 29th, was it? January 29th, early in the morning here, Eastern Standard Time, in the U.S., Eastern Coast. There was a meeting. I was there, actually, part of it, and decisions were made. And then on the 31st of January, the attack began. I did a video about it a few hours after it happened, but I was getting my head work done by the next layer of energy outside of my body so hard. I couldn't hardly get it out, get the information out properly, so I always do everything I can to do as much as I can for you as soon as I can. The sooner the better, especially, blah, and I'm still getting hammered, especially when it's time sensitive. What the information I have for you and your children and their children, and this stuff's going to be around forever. The history that'll never change is the history that just exists. That's actually the truth. Whether a lot of people hate truth. How do you know the truth? Well, you know, sometimes I say I'm the old fart because I've had more lives than anyone else. I think sometimes I screw up when I talk with people about the amount of lives you've had. I talk about years, because it's like years in your growth as you get bigger, because I've been watching you. This is my last, and good, it needs to be. I got stuff to do that and it requires my complete attention out of body. This isn't the real you. This is it's who you are as a body. The person is real, very real. You know that. They were in the Matrix. No, wrong. You're in a physical body. Excuse me. Excuse me. There we go. Had another one waiting to come out. Lung disease, the gift that keeps on giving. Anyway, so for all the new people coming in that care about this, I want to get that out there. This book number 2, Creation is Journey Evolving into Paradise, is all the new beings that have been created, everything that's been happening, how creation became what it is, what's going on now, the history of the earth, is colonization, Atlantis, Lemuria. What happened? Who was there? What's this about the Adamic race? The ones Edgar Cayce talks about in Atlantis. Edgar Cayce, how can you not love the man? He did so much for nothing to help people. He talked about the 2 major groups in Atlantis, and he was, you know, right, there were. He said one of them was called the Law of One. Those are the ones that agreed to praise God, the one supreme being. And the others, he said, he called the children of Belial. Let me just leave this here, that when Edgar Cayce prepared himself to go into his, to relax and open up and let his primary spirit guide, that was human essence, to talk through him, it was hard for him to loosen up and let that out. So he had to relax himself a certain way, get into a mental condition that made him slow words. And he was trying to say the children of denial, not Belial. Okay? Again, Edgar Cayce was awesome. Love him. And this life, he's in a female body that was living around Chicago for a long time. David Wilcock is not Edgar Cayce, but David Wilcock's DNA is definitely tied in with Edgar Cayce's body. You can take the 2 of them and look at them, and they're very much alike. So, anyway, something else I was going to say too. I do slide on and off track on things. There's so much going on through my head, and like I said, my head's being worked on right now. It's actually changing a little bit while we're talking. I'm tired of it, so my spirit outside of the body is doing it, just doing everything he can to help me. But at the last few months, but I wish it just stopped. But when someone's doing something to help you, and you can put up with it, when we have heart, we usually just deal with it. The most important thing is for me to finish this and go home, so I can then finally finish and maintain what needs to happen, what is going to happen. It needs to, but over 90% of it's already happened. Anyway, one thing I was starting to mention, I forgot to finish, I believe. When I was talking about praise, if something is worthy of praise, why would it want it, and why would it allow it? Okay? When you go, most of you have parents that love you. So I was saying, when you go home, do they make you bow and praise them before you go in the house, before you eat? Did it make you say thanks to them for supplying them a meal? I hope not. Not many do. Think about it. All your religions are full of bunk, and I can tell you for a fact they are. And okay, let's get back to the main information here. There was a meeting, January 29th, in the early mornings, Eastern Standard Time, a little after 1 o'clock a.m., 2017, where the Drachk, Antids, and some others, Source Spirit, Arae, talked about this war. It was just Arae. That was the only Source Spirit there. Talked about an upcoming war that was going to start as a few battles. Actually talked about the situation and how to handle it a bit. It was already obvious this was going to come to be. I've talked about the Federation before, and they're not the fluffy, puffy, wonderful people that so many quote-unquote psychics and mediums and all this other stuff and extra larges, whatever, we're talking about. They didn't know. They don't know what they're talking about. I'm not trying to beat them up. I'm just, they don't know. They can't see. They just, and sometimes they're told stuff that's wrong on the other side. And that's not their fault. If you don't see something, you're trying to help people. You have the love in your heart. You're just trying to help. You have to have good information. That's why I wrote the books. That's why I leave all these videos. Later on, when this is over, when I'm out of here, and then time, a certain amount of time has gone by, probably about a year, maybe more, Deanna and Siobhan are going to write a book. That'll be the third book of the creation series. So they'll be putting that stuff in. Burju, she's doing incredible stuff. She's from Turkey originally. She lives here. She can crank people up. She's on the consult page. Burju Gosler. Burju, sorry, honey. You know how I screw up your name all the time, but I can't help it. I fight with Jay. That's how bad it is, and she knows that. And she's translating the books into Turkish. I don't know the name of the language, exact name of it, but and then she'll be writing her own books, which is good. Everyone needs to express things as they know them. That's the whole point of how I crank, about me cranking you up, about them cranking you up, to try and make you stronger. But over time, it's also going to happen with everyone, just not to this extent. That'll never happen unless you get cranked up, period. So those of you that want help, you're going to get help. But those of you that want to get, cranked up free, just like it's going to happen to everybody, it's not. It's not supposed to. I'm sure it wouldn't be fair to everyone that's spent the money on it. I mean, come on. Anyway, but when you get cranked up, it literally, the size of your head grows. I was talking, excuse me, I was talking with a gentleman just the other day, and we were laughing about, he was laughing about, actually, I'll just go ahead and tell you, this is one of Deanna's brothers, really cool guy, Nacho, and he's a singer. He's coming along really well, and but I told him his head's going to get bigger, and he told Deanna, he goes, I put my hat on, my baseball cap, and it wouldn't fit anymore. It had been getting tight, but it just won't fit. I had to loosen the thing up. And then he said it was weird. I didn't know what the hell was going on, because the hat doesn't get washed and everything. It should be loosening up and getting bigger, if anything. And then I remembered that when Jay cranked me up, he warned me that the brain and the skull do grow. So, now, the older we are, the less proper nutrition we have, and those people that do drugs, and they're not going to have the same growth. Okay. When you get to a certain age, like for older folks, I'm 61, folks that are about 80, 70. The older we are, our body's already out of a growth stage. So we can't expect all of a sudden, you know, for this to happen. And when people have been cranked up and they start turning arrogant, growth stops. Their abilities, the enhancement of the source spirit put in them will be sitting there like a car at in a garage or outside in the driveway that's running, and it's just sitting there. It's in park. Whatever you can do, but enhancement through the source spirit, no, it'll stop. No one's going to get cranked up with this spirit and then use it to glorify themselves. It's not going to happen. Now, this source spirit, is that, I mean, the source energy, is that energy, or is it sentient energy, which we call spirit? Is it another mind, a being with another mind that's put in you? No. Not at all. Excuse me just a minute. Had something to do. Anyway, it's energy that comes off the spirit. But the field that goes everywhere, the source field that's everywhere, that's hanging around everyone, goes through everyone. As your arrogance grows up, that source spirit literally goes into the source spirit energy in your body and just just calms it down, lets it go to sleep, doesn't allow it to do anything. It's like turns off your switch for the source input, source energy input. So anyway, that evolves your brain and everything else. That's why all that happens. You don't grow a huge head and everything, but it does grow. Give it about 3-4 months. I tell people to take a string, put it around their head, tie it real tight, not tight on your head, but I mean, tie it kind of loose and pull it off, make it real tight, and then put it up and down your head so it'll slide, but you're not supposed to go like this, okay? Just put it on your head so it slides. It should not go over your ears, but it should softly go down your head, no problem, and then put it away somewhere. Put it in a baggie where it can't get wet, put it somewhere where it's cool, and make sure that knot's tight, real tight. Make sure you get it super tight, and then recheck it. And then take it, put it somewhere, store it somewhere where it won't get wet, hot. Just let it be there, and then go back 3.5-4 months later, and chances are really good that it ain't going to go down, like that whatsoever. It's different with different people. Anyway, that helps you see what's real and going on through the other side. People talk about the veil is thinning. No, it's not. People are being woken up so they can use their abilities more to see through the veil. What they call the veil. The veil is literally a dimensional barrier, okay? They don't get weak. I know about that big time. Now let's finally get to trying to get to what's going on. We're going to get to this Drachk thing. That's going to take a minute, but first I want to get to Corey. Corey, I love you, man. You're awesome. Before too long, you'll listen to this video. Maybe I like my coffee too much, huh? It is the other side that runs things. Corey, there's been some Lillionaire energy around you. You're kind of being used to support what David Wilcock is doing, and you were being protected, taken care of. You still are, while this was happening, but part of Lily went inside your chest, into your heart, into your intercostal muscles and your rib cage, and just slowed you down a little bit. And that's not an attack. It's not a warning. It's an opportunity. If someone's really not taking care of their body and then they have a heart attack, then when they're done with it, they say, or they have a little heart flutter like a heart attack, they say, "Damn, I need to look at what I'm doing and wake up." Corey, that's all that was, man. You have a very specific, important destiny, and it has nothing to do with David Wilcock. okay? There's a possibility you do this on Gaia, Gaia MTV or what, I don't know, but you're supposed to be doing this on your own. And now I realize that you have financial responsibilities and everything else like all of us do, and I understand that. I'm not going anywhere with that either. I'm just saying I realize the issues of a reptilian society that works off of money. You'll be taken care of just fine. A lot better than you are now, okay? You have important work to do, and you're not doing it. You're not going out on your own to, thank you, to do what needs to be done, okay? It's important to you, it's important to your family, it's important to everyone. A while back I went into you, and I put a lot of strong energy into you, put source in you, which is changing you, making you stronger, okay? Source energy, not spirit. That was to help you, okay? If you to stay with David Wilcock. David, I love you, man, but you are so stuck on self-glorification. You know, I can't listen to you. I can't deal with it. You draw all these crazy conclusions about stuff, just trying to make something up to get people to smile when they're looking at you, and everybody, yay! David, you're better than that. But Corey, if you don't get away from him and do something yourself, you're not going to get hurt. You're not going to have a heart attack and die. And you're not going to be attacked by the government, because they had literally, the Anunnaki that run this planet through their little filters, you have a hands-off policy, just like especially David Wilcock, because he's spreading so much disinformation and doing such a good job. He's like, man, we couldn't pay this guy enough money to do what he's doing. The last thing they want is for anyone to know what's really going on. Corey, you have such incredible, the most powerful part of you, Corey, is your heart. Then your pineal, very strong. Your solar plexus is funny, but it's in comparison, percentages, it's nothing compared to your pineal, and then even more so your heart. Corey, you have an ability to see things and everything for yourself, okay, that you're not using to see and feel. I'm not grabbing your coattails. I'll be out of here soon. I've been waiting to get out of here for a long time, but finally the last big thing I had to do was done. But you have a hell of a future ahead of you that's you're moving away from, and this is an attempt. What was happened to you and my talking to you, this is an attempt to help you get back on track to where you need to be, not just for yourself and family, but for everyone. But you need to use your pineal to see things for yourself. You need to use your heart to feel forward stronger. The gentleman you talked to that has introduced himself as a blue avian, Arae, that's Q.E.E.G, okay. He's a buddy of mine. He's family. He's source. He's source spirit from Lily and Arae. They release their own energy. It's all in the second book. The second creation book. Creation, its journey evolving into paradise. He has two sons, too. Raag and Naag. They're both from different mothers. Naag is the youngest. Raag is older. And they're very involved with stuff. And I'm not going to say any more about that. That's his personal family. As a matter of fact, January 29th, you know, Q.E.E.G was there, and I talked with him all the time. He knew that it wasn't time to actually crank you up. Thank you. And so I didn't. I honored that, and I just put some energy in you. And then I looked, after he said that, then I looked at it and I saw what was going on. I said, okay, it's not time, but we'll put out something for Corey later. Corey, it's time for you to come out on your own, man. You're an awesome, incredible person. You really are. But David talks bullshit and you're not. Okay? Anyway. It's not that I don't want to talk with you, or you can't. You can call me and I'll talk with you, but I don't see this happening. You get involved in this until after I'm gone, and all you got to do is talk to Deanna, Berju, Siobhan at the Spiritual Foundation. They'll tell you more about this stuff. Honestly, someone you talk to, when you can, to ear. Talk to him. Talk to him, ask him about me. He'll tell you. He'll tell you stuff about me that I don't really want to get out. And I mean, I don't care, but it seems self-serving. So, but it's not for me, it's for you to understand something, okay? Please just let David go his own way. And there's a lot of people waiting for your help. There's a lot of wonderful things you can do. Your destiny's huge if you'll just get off that bumpy road and get on that nice smooth highway that's already been made for you. And as far as monetary assessment, that's a road to be on. We live in a, thank you, okay, don't need all that. I'm just looking up, the light is happening right here. It's Lily's energy messing with the light. But, you know, that when I talk to animals outside, say something, talk back and forth, they go back and forth. That happens from time to time, and that helps people understand that, you know, maybe this tired old man in overalls is actually telling the truth. We live in a physical world. We need some physical proof, don't we? So anyway, Corey, love you. Please keep going. For you, your family, and everyone else, please get on your own. And the folks at the spiritualfoundation.com will be happy to help you out. And I love you. Okay, now let's get to this Drachk thing. And by the way, Corey, if you talk with Q.E.E.G, he's not going to tell you everything about what's going on with the Drachk, with this war, with me, how it all relates, but he'll tell you enough. You know how Q.E.E.G is. He talks soft message, and you have to really think when he says something. He does that on purpose. He's trying to teach you to use your heart and your pineal to go into it, okay? And you do, but as long as you keep, you know, when you talk about something that's on a scanner that you're reading, that's like someone reporting about what's on TV and calling it the truth. You can't do that. It's because it's not. You have very strong abilities, and they're now a lot stronger, but they won't turn on until you just, you know, get on the road that's Corey's road, okay? Anyway, so let's get to the Federation. Let me say this about the Drachk first. The Drachk are incredibly powerful. They're the original race, the first. Their history, their origin goes back to the second pair of lives that has ever happened. Their DNA was literally made by Arae and Lily in the very beginning. Lily and Arae went to have their first life, their source, very powerful, the strongest, small parts of source energy, but for their size, whatever, doesn't matter. They were smaller, but the intensity of their energy was the strongest it was. without lower frequencies in it. And the first life they had bodies relative to what they were. Plant, animal, human, fae, planetary, which is female universal essence, and then star, male universal essence. All that was, in one body. It was kind of weird looking. It was very nice, very beautiful. I remember the love we had for each other, and still do. Stronger now than it's ever been. Then we had one beautiful night together relaxing, and then in the morning got up, started eating some fruit out of the trees, and here comes this herd of, I don't know, over 100 of these velociraptor looking kind of things, crazy looking. And they literally tore us to pieces, ripped us up. And we made our own bodies. We just made bodies out of what we were. That seemed to be the sensible thing to do. And we got ripped up, shredded. We made eye contact right when our bodies were being totally dismembered, brains, heads separated. So when we got out of the body, I went right up to original first being male and female, and hit them with a burst of energy. It's like going up to someone and slapping the crap out of their face with the back of your hand. And then when we went back to have another life, I told Lily, I said, honey, you just follow my lead when we go down there and make bodies. The first time Arae and Lily got together, their energy is so strong and it's so clean. Okay, less than 2% negativity, so basically how it started. 2.08, it used to be 2.081. Excuse me. Negativity was me, the worst of the clean source, the most of the clean source, because of I was literally made to be protector. That's a different story. Whatever, you can read the books. Something. Believe it or not, this crap's not about me. I'm trying to set the base foundation for what we're going to mention here in a minute. And this is important if you really want to know what's going on out in space and everywhere else. It all started in the beginning, folks, and we're almost done. So anyway, when Lily and Arae came together, there was a huge burst of energy that came out in two different pulses. It was literally the creation of unicorn and dragon energy. Unicorn is stronger with Lily, and dragon is stronger with Arae, but they're both, they both have both of them. Anyway, so when we went back down there, I made a body that was just about solid dragon energy. As I was doing this, excuse me, as I was doing this, Lily was doing the same thing. Our bodies were so powerful that when these velociraptor-looking things came at us again, we literally ripped them to pieces. They couldn't even bite through our skin. That's where the Drachk race came from. To a lot of people, or actually it won't be a lot to some people, they'll think this is self-glorification or whatever on my part. Folks, it is what it is, you know. I love everyone, and I really don't, what you think about me doesn't matter. I mean, I have a job to do. I do what I do, and I'm no better than nothing else. Never have been, never will be. That's the way it should be. We're all like that. It just so happens that's what I am. That's where I came from, and that's why I was made to serve and protect. So I do. Some of the doctors got off on that a while ago. It's like, you're kind of strange in some ways. I said, yeah. I had a battery of psychiatrists, doctors, everybody look at me, inspect me. I've done the quantitative electroencephalogram. Oh, by the way, I got a clean bill of health on everybody. I subjected myself to hell. There is no hell other than what happens when you're in a body. But I did that to make a point. This quantitative electroencephalogram, it reads the brain waves that are inside your head. You know, it can actually, they're sensors. It's almost like a cap that they put on your head, and it's like, or a net, And there's wires with sensors that read the electromagnetic pulses coming out of your brain. And a really cool dude named Martin Perra out in Sweden. I mean, he's outside of Sweden, whatever. He went to Sweden and went into this office, and they did a quantitative electroencephalogram. He paid for it out of his own pocket, man. I told him thanks, and I gave him some nice stuff, but he just said, Jay, I'm going to do this. You want to do this? And I said, sure. So they did the lady in this lab, it's a regular lab, she does it for a living. She hooked the stuff up to him and then read everything. She's been doing this a long time, okay? She knows what she's doing. So you can see some of it on the video. There's a video at thespiritualfoundation.com. It's like an hour and 50 minutes. It's long. The video quality is not that good. This is done by me and Martin. This is not incredibly professional, but it's good enough where you can see things happening. And then printouts from the equipment. When my energy literally started messing with her equipment, and she basically had to do a reset on everything. But they went. They did a control test on Martin's brain, okay, and then we got the readout on it. And then I went into him and I just cranked up his hypothalamus gland. That's all, just his hypothalamus gland. Didn't go into the pineal. Some of the energy goes off a little bit, but it was just a little bit extra energy. It was concentrated without hurting him on the hypothalamus. And when you see the change that it made, when you see the pictorial graphs, its color graphs, its raw data, when you see it, when it was normal, and then they did a test again, and I went into him. You see me doing it on video. I was here, and he's in Sweden. You see the results, and that's just his hypothalamus. That's not his whole brain. It's ridiculous. When I showed that to doctors, psychiatrists, nurses, as a matter of fact, human resource people or something, they're just like, what the hell's going on? They watched me for a few days, and they were just like, this guy's just different. Who's this old man in overalls? They didn't call me old man. They just said man in overalls. I call myself old. I'm 61. I'm not young, but it's my spirit that I'm talking about. Anyway, I had to prove the point that this crank-up thing is real. I have to prove the point that who you really are inside is real. All of you have abilities. People talk about, psychic. That word almost makes me want to puke. I'm a psychic. For Pete's sake, everyone has metaphysical abilities. These are not a gift. These are part of you. So you want to do yourself a favor, help yourself wake up? Never call it a gift. It's part of you. It's part of what you are. Now, when you were released from the two first being halves and became yourself, that was a gift, to be released from it. But everything after that, no. You are what you are. Those are your abilities. You own them. And the sooner you realize that and start using them, the stronger your metaphysical ability is going to be. You get cranked up, it just takes it through the roof. That's all. I don't mean, those of you, a lot of people have been told crap by everything on the other side has been lying to you except animals. Almost everything, not everything, but almost everything on the other side has been lying to you except for animal essence. So anyway, that's why I ask people to talk to their animal spirit guides. You all have a few of them. They're there all the time. Animals are an incredible blessing to creation. They were created to be abused and beaten up, and they have been more than anything else, and they're being taken out of the bodies. All these planets everywhere. There's over 4 trillion planets with life on them. Excuse me. Okay. Anyway. That's enough. Basically, what I was trying to do. Although when I talk, there's so much to say that you don't know. There's so many new people coming that you're not aware of yet. Okay, it's not like look how cool Jay is. Jay's not cool. I'm not. Look at me. Where's the cool? Ain't there. Where's the self-glorification? Ain't there. I don't care. I don't want it. I can talk to millions of people at one time. Here, off planet, I can do not what I want, but I can do as much as I know I can, you know, whatever, going into someone's brain and literally evolving it, and I've already started to prove I can do it. This is to the medical field. I've talked to a couple scientists, and they're just kind of like, don't know what to think. We want scientific proof. Yeah, whatever. Dude, I'm getting you information. Just, you know, deal with it. Throw it in the garbage can. I don't care. But they all go, anyway, it's to let you know who you are. Your spirit, sentient energy, that's in a body with another spirit having lives. But you have abilities. People say there's no such thing as psychic. Correct. There's no such thing as a psychic, but psychic. That's a crazy word. Metaphysical abilities. That's real. Oh, they don't exist. There's no such thing as metaphysical. Yeah, okay. What do you call them? Others? Intuition. Why were you driving down the road not knowing where you're going, and you just went right instead of left, and you actually got there? You took 2 or 3 turns you didn't know, and you actually got there. What happened? Whoa, 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 it's magic. Yeah, I don't think so. That's also why I don't sing for a living, because I can't. Folks, this is part of who you are. A policeman, a soldier, or you. When you feel something on the back of your neck, and you like someone's watching, you turn around and there's someone watching 9 times out of 10. The other 10%, someone's watching, you can't see them. So the more you understand that you have these abilities because they're part of you, you don't go shopping for it and buy it and put it in there. You don't go see a guru, spend 20 grand. They don't know what the hell they're talking about. When you start to trust your feelings, your images that you see in your head, what you hear when your spirit guides, animal and all, talk to you. When animals talk to you, they talk to you like the most intelligent person you've ever talked to. Okay? As far as the fields of essence go, spirit, good luck finding something smarter than animal essence. And I'm including source. Okay? There is source, that is, but not much. And that doesn't matter. I'm trying to make a point here about trusting your animal spirit guides, going to find them. But anyway, this is the Drachk race. That's where they came from. The most powerful bodies that were ever made. They were made in the very beginning to make sure that they were stronger than anything else that existed anywhere. Well, guess what? They are. Their DNA was literally created by Arae and Lily to be what it is. That's why they're so powerful. Over all this time, their bodies have been changed a little bit, but they're strong. They're strong. They were changed by the original first being male and female. Of course, those 2 are dead. Anyway, that's how powerful they are. Now, the Federation. Let's get into this. The Federation. So many people have said, "Oh, they come in peace. They come to help us." The Federation was they had their own name, whatever, and it sounds different. It's pronounced differently, whatever name they want to use, in whatever in whatever language on whatever planet the people are conversing with. When people talk from different planets, they have a screen in front of them. It shows the auras, the energy that's in someone. It gives their name and information about it. They have a breakdown on their past lives, where they've been, and then you can actually see their energy live. And when someone gets really aggressive or someone starts lying, it's actually easy to start picking off. Those are some of the, screens and all that they have. So anyway, well, this Federation, there's been key players in the Federation that have, certain planets that have material on them that are extremely valuable. A lot of planets need it for medicine, wealth, very rare materials that are used in the synthesizers and stuff like that. These trip chairs, same thing. Trip chairs, you know what they were made for? They were, you know, when you get in a trip chair, the energy field comes out, it reads your DNA, and it amplifies your own personal energy. The reason why those chairs were made, the people that made them, I remember that life in those bodies, very different. If you say you have an airport and a plane's flying far away, if you have a spaceport and ships are going way out in the universe, there's no way to connect. You can connect through energy fields that are everywhere, but there's satellites, different planets, and everything where they keep it going. Like, you want to talk about a World Wide Web, folks, what they have is incredible. But there's limits. So when you go beyond that, or even when you're out there, they needed a way to communicate. So each ship would have at least one. For certain regulations, it's like mandatory, but usually you have to have two of them. Usually you want to have two of them. And then in a spaceport, there's a machine in the middle, and then there's a broken circle going around it and a few layers out where there's different people that go in there. Okay, and then they go in the trip chairs and they just relax. They open up, let themselves flow out everywhere, and they just relax to wait to hear stuff. And if you go out in a starship and you go out somewhere, you have a problem, something, you crash, something like that, whatever, you run out of fuel, so you know something breaks down. If you crash and tear out totally tear apart the chair, then you got a problem. But there's also an energy output built in a chair, like a safety thing. But let's not even go there. Let's just talk about the chair for a minute. You get in that chair and you relax, turn it on. It increases your power level, usually about 7 times, and you just go outwards. And then you go back to you just think about the spaceport, and then you're there. And then a few of the people there will pick that up. And you say, here I am, I need help. This is the problem. And then something, they immediately find a nearest port to you, and they talk to them from their spaceport group to the other spaceport group that's closest to you, whatever. They get you help as soon as possible. People talk about trip chairs. They don't even understand why they're called trip chairs. But that's why. Anyway, they're important. They can also be used for healing. They're important. That's what they were made for. Of course, got to turn it into a weapon, right? Like the NSA, Anunnaki, CIA have a few chairs. Anyway, so these planets that have important stuff for everyone else, they were the largest receiver of funding, money that came back from the Federation. This Federation of Planets, quote unquote, that was like like the United Nations or some other joke like that. The philosophy behind a group called United Nations is a good idea, but what we have for the United Nations is a joke. It's so corrupt. But anyway, so this Federation, excuse me, of planets had some key members, and they got more money from the Federation than anyone else. How'd the Federation get money? Well, they can impose taxes and stuff. Everybody has to put in to keep this going, you know. It's like paying taxes for good roads. It's no problem. The taxes got a little higher. When people want to come to the Earth and mine, take some gold and silver and stuff out, you went to them. You said, I want to go to the Earth. I want to go into this section, and I want to take this out of it. They said, okay. A permit to do that will cost this much. And then that money goes to the Federation. And then the Federation, the main people involved, the people that had the most and everything else, the biggest benefactors behind it, they got a large part of that money. Okay? Plus, everything they sold to the other planets, they got money off of that. So they don't like this new alliance that was made. This new alliance is literally all the planets coming together. And who's backing that? The Drachk. The Antids are the second race to be created. Incredibly powerful. Q.E.E.G, Raag, Naag, they're Antids. There's the Serpatient race. They're in the largest facility on the moon. This solid rock, people are calling a planet Nibiru or something like that. That's some heavy props. It's like a C-130 heavy cargo. Anyway, I'm being talked to. C-130 is used to move heavy amounts of material from one end to the other. They can take tanks and stuff, okay? Well, that's basically what just happened. The Drachk went to these planets. Oh, I'm being told to hurry up, move along. The Drachk went to these planets and took large amounts of supplies, most of what they had, away from them, because they literally told everyone else that needed their stuff, or especially for health, you know, hospitalization and everything else, they said they would no longer sell to them. So, and the Federation said, this new alliance of planets, screw y'all. Anyone that belongs to that, we're not going to allow you to receive any help from it, from these large planets. The Drachk and the Antids, which is the second most powerful race here, anywhere in the physical realm or third dimension, they're the ones that back it. Plus Source backs it. Source is running stuff. The new Source. Well, they're old, but, you know, Lily Arae Source. So when he quit selling everyone else and then raised the prices with other folks, they're trying to control everyone's lives. That's not allowed. Some people say some bad things about the Drachk. They are some of the most beneficial, compassionate, but powerful beings there are. I mean, they're the most powerful race there is. Anyway, so that's what the meeting was, January 29th, very early in the morning, and then January 30th. There's 4 planets that needed to be dealt with. And when the Federation pulled this plug, you know, said pull the plug on it, none of you can have this, then after the meeting was had, what to do, the decision was made, and the Drachk went to 4 planets on the 31st in the morning, yesterday morning, 5:31 a.m. Eastern Standard Time here in the U.S. One planet was attacked, 5:34. Another planet was attacked, 7:28 a.m. This is all a.m. Yesterday morning. A third planet was attacked, and the fourth one, they already knew what was going to happen, so they didn't. They just literally opened up and said, "Here," and they didn't get hit hard whatsoever. But their stuff was that they have. Most of what they had was removed, and the Drachk told them, "You will sell to the other people. You will sell to them. Not taking, you know, no one's going to be allowed to do that. Aggressive, yes, but trying to starve people by not giving them what they need for their replicators and everything else, that being done to specifically going against this new alliance, which the Drachk and the Antids back up, yeah, it's not going to be allowed. I've said this stuff for years. This new alliance, that's the way of everything in creation, it's changing. The whole format's changing. Should they be compensated for what they offer? Yes. This one time, no. That planet made a stand against the alliance. The Federation is being torn down. So anyway, I wanted to put this out yesterday, but I couldn't because I was getting slammed so hard. So that's what's going on with that. Now, where does that go from here? The Federation tries to kick it up another notch, and they're just going to be dismantled. The Drachk power shields that protect them are so strong. You can shoot missiles, bullets, particle beams, anything you want. Nothing's going to get through except another Drachk weapon. Antids are incredibly powerful too. They're the ones that are liberating this planet, nice and slow. And the 3 Drachk scout ships, they're like scout ships, but they're fighters. But they're used as scouts often. But 3 of them landed in Alaska. I put that video out a little while ago. And they literally just beamed down into where they had the subway system, where they have those tunnels and capsules. They have, it's like generators, I don't know what to call them. And there's sensors and activators that maintain a certain field. It's a magnetic field inside these tunnels. And then they have little power units along the way. These capsules fly through, through these tunnels. I mean, fast. Very fast. Well, a bunch of them is like a nexus that comes together, and basically the southeastern section of Alaska, and take the main body of it, so the southeastern part of it, that literally got taken out. These 3 Drachk went down there, and they literally they were being shot at by the problematic Anunnaki. Are cool. The ones here are very problematic. Been running this planet for a little over 10 million years. The main force here for the last 10 million little over 10 million years. But they've been running it for over 9 million. Anyway, yeah, hurry. Thank you. Anyway, so the reason I brought that up, they were shooting at them, it got nothing. There's this whole rail system that got taken out, not rail, capsule tunnel transportation system. It got taken out. The Anunnaki, the problematic Anunnaki here on this planet are being crippled. Okay, they'll be starved out, and this is all going to happen with the least amount of damage to the planet, to the people. And there's something coming up. That's in San Francisco. You'll see it. You'll find out about it. It's not too far from now. Anyway, this Federation, everybody was saying is so loving, benevolent, and everything. It's being taken out. These people that have been saying this, the vast majority of them, there's nothing wrong with them. They're getting information that's wrong. And they did not get it from their animal spirit guides. They don't lie. Okay? You can ask your animal spirit guide, when am I going to meet this person? When, the future. Hey, folks, let me tell you something. The future's always being changed. What's running the future right now? There's not one person. It's not one set thought process. It's multiples, and they're trying to do a good job, and no one's ever done this before. No one's ever run lives except the original first being male and female until they were destroyed, May of 2013. So things are screwy, but they're a whole lot cleaner, and it's about to get better. Excuse me. So, the Drachk have very quietly, without declaring war or anything, said no mas, no more. That's it. Fini. And then from now on, these planets will sell at the regular price to everyone, alliance or not. And if they don't, they'll get another visit. Folks, sometimes it takes force to bring things, to bring in a new age. Extreme force that's over abusive? No, they didn't attack. They could blow these planets up. They went in with hardly firing a shot. They take out, when they got shot at, the equipment couldn't, their armament from the planet couldn't even hurt them. And they blew up the armament, took it out and everything. They did as much, they always do as much as they can without hurting anything. It's done in a permanent way. It's done as compassionately caring as possible, but it's done. There's so much stuff happening that y'all are going to become more and more aware of soon. And these videos I put out explaining what other people see, like Tyler down at the Secure Team 10, he's important to what's going on. He's got all kinds of information being sent to him. People are literally told, go out here, because hurry up, get your camera, look, and then people look up, and all of a sudden there it is. It's like people see 11:11 on the clock, 44. That's telling you, that's a spiritual note, that's information, okay? The basic part of numerology and stuff. I think I've got that somewhere. I know I've got it in video, but I think I might have listed it somewhere on a website or something. But that's you getting message. You can also read license plates to get the message when they go by, but I'll go there later maybe. Anyway, it's time for all this to happen. What's been controlling your lives that's abusive is dead. There's chaotic behavior, not chaos, but chaotic behavior on the other side because it's not coordinated yet. It will be soon this year, okay? In the meantime, this gentleman, Tyler, from Secure Team 10, I think it's Secure Team 10, he's being fed, these people are being told when to get information, and they're told to go to him. So you're going to see a lot of good stuff there. It would literally take someone on the console page of the spiritualfoundation.com to see this and tell you what's going on. Okay, there's a couple others that aren't on there, but basically speaking, that's what it is. It takes a lot of power to see through these bodies, and Source is the strongest stuff there is. No better than nothing else. No better than a shoelace. But it is very, very strong shoelace. That's all. These videos, when they're brought to my attention, I look at them, and because, excuse me, my family members see it. And then they tell me about it. I look at it and put out what it is and what's going on. And when I leave, these folks are going to do this for you. But instead of just one, there'll be a lot more. And that explains what's going on. I'm going to put out an offer to Tyler to crank him up for free if he wants it. And just thanking him, too, for taking that stuff and putting it on video. He's got a good heart. He's strong solar plexus spirit. He's important to what's going on, just like Q.E.E.G, like so many of you. There's an incredible group of warriors on this planet that are compassionate. They have incredible fortitude, and they're here to help bring in a new era. The one that is of, about, and part of creation's new freedom. Simple. So anyway, if you listen to the videos about that, I'm going to try to put a page in the spiritualfoundation.com that has to do with ETs, extraterrestrial stuff. I take what has been sent to him and I tell you what it is, what's actually happening. The Allurian folk that are here, they're literally going to help us take this planet back, to bring it back to life. The growing new crops, their equipment can literally clean, nourish, water, plant, fields of barren soil just by one ship as it slowly moves over it. And then goes back again, And they come from solar systems, galaxies, far away. And they come over here to do this for us for how much? What's the price tag? Zippo. Why? Because they're cool. That's why. Because they're compassionate, loving beings. The Allurian are incredible. Serpoian, what we call the Greys, they're awesome. Okay? If you look at thespiritualfoundation.com, if you get the books, read them, to get a basic foundation of what's going on and why it's been happening, and then you get the video, then look at the videos, get the information, whatever, do it any way you want, and then look at what's going on in space. I show you. I told you about the Drachk coming here, about, you know, putting this whole most of the solar system is just past Mars, I guess. Is Earth is the one that's got the vast majority of life on it, and then you get past Mars, and then there's not as much happening. So when I said most of the solar system, I wasn't talking about area, dimension. I was talking, or circumference, whatever. I was talking about activity, living beings. So, and then I told you that there was going to be a war, that people try to get in and out and be interdimensional, going through that dimensional barrier. And I said, you'll see them getting shot out of the sky. So what happens? Boom. NASA says, hey, we never saw this thing. We couldn't track it. And they're talking about the quote-unquote asteroid in Hungary that came down, and all of a sudden it made almost a 180-degree turn. It was a fireball. When all of a sudden, poof, you can first see it, it comes out, and a star drive literally comes off of it, and then it had an explosion. It blew up, but the energy was linear. The explosion was linear. You can see it. Another one in Australia. This is all pretty recent. In Australia, there was a meteor that came in that was small. It wasn't going as fast as it should have been. And when it hit the ground, it hit in the sea, and it caused some issues. But it was not what it should have been. For the size that it was not what it should have been. And NASA said, we never saw it. We tracked it nowhere. Folks, do you know how many satellites go around this planet that NASA owns or has access to? What about the Hubble scope? You think it's not going to see something coming? Hello. And interdimensionally, they messed with the Drachk. The Drachk shrunk that, just compressed that. It's an implosion. So as soon as the vehicle is imploded, it can't maintain interdimensional drift or, you know, propulsion. So it drops down here to the third dimension from the barrier between the third and second. So anyway, in the second dimension, nothing can get in there. Nothing. There's reason for that, and that's not for now. But anyway, that's I'm trying to explain to you what's going on so you have it, so you know. Folks, look at me. Look at what's around me. This house is a mess. It's pretty clean, but it's, you know, as far as not being dirty, but it's still a mess. I mean, it's insane. I have so many stones, so much other stuff, and I have a lot of health issues. I can't move stuff around. I got degenerative joint disease. I've got two forms. I got COPD and CLLI, chronic lower lung infections, all kinds of other stuff. And this is no poor little Jay. Screw that. I can't wait to get out of here. I know what I am. I'm anxious to be home. But, you know, it's time for all this stuff to happen, and you just need to know. The Allurian and the Serpoian are involved too. Are going to help us bring a new crop here, plus be able to grow food just about everywhere. These plants that they have, you take them and you grow them, then you put them in these synthesizers, what a lot of people call food replicators, and you get all kinds of good food. And it's all plant. Okay, no animals. Animals are leaving. I told you animals going to leave, okay? I told you that February of 2015. I told you years before that, but I mean 2015, I knew I needed to remind you that the animals are going to start leaving in mass. And March 31st, it went on the internet that half the world's population of Sega antelope just died. They said within a 2-week period or something, whatever. They all died at the same time, just within 24, 48 hours of each other. They were all dead. They're back, and then they say they don't know what's going on. This ain't enough a month. So I got on there on a video somewhere, and I said their bacteria was turned against them. The bacteria was mutated so that it would attack them instead of protect them. And the way it's done, the body slows down and it just gets a little sicker and dies. It's completely painless. It's made to be painless. Because it's done by loving spirit. It's time for the animal. The animal essence said, we want out of these bodies. And Arae said, you got it. It's going to happen anyway. That's one reason I was very anxious to leave. Well, I am to finish that, but it's already happening. They're being taken out. All this stuff is information for you. Why do I tell you that I told you? Here it is. Come get it. I'm telling you where it's at. Okay? So, I'm no better than a mud puddle you step in. Doesn't matter. Can't hurt me. It's important for you to find out who you are. The things that you can do that you're not even aware of. How to develop that. What else is around you in space? The Fae that are here right underneath us in slightly lower dimensions. I've explained how dimensions are created, the barriers and everything else. I'm leaving you the information, all the information I possibly can that I know will help you become yourselves and awaken. When you start seeing these large beings, some of them are insectoid, some of them more like amphibious, some more like fish. A lot of them are humanoid like us, reptilian, dragon. You need to know what's going on. Your abilities, when you awaken them, you can start talking with them before they ever get here. And then when you see them, it's not as big a thing. The blue avians, they're actually the antids. So, and I've put out videos. If you put in antid for a search on the Essex channel, then you should find them. So anyway, I need to leave you all alone and get going, but the Drachk don't mess around, folks. And this Federation has been abusing us for the longest time. This Federation, I'm talking about the okay to, the permit to take minerals and stuff on the planet. They give away licenses, permits to come here and take your DNA, cut up animals for their own little scientific studies, or to get a mineral inside different animal bodies, that different organs and whatever, different minerals they use for something else. So some of it is trying to synthesize meat. Also has to do with mutating animals. Some of the stuff goes on this planet, but it's worse than others. That's being brought to a stop too. But the animals are leaving anyway. You need to have a source of information that's not a bunch of bullshit. How else do you learn? Go to a public school? Yeah, that'll help. It's better than not doing anything, but they're so full of crap. Agenda everywhere. Anyway, folks, look. I do this so you have the information, okay? And if you want to enhance the soft evolution that's going on everywhere through the field, it's part of Arae. It's not Arae, it's a part of them. A little part. Just go to thespiritualfoundation.com. And My consults with the free energy work, they're like 45 minutes. They always run a little over, but depends on how much time I have. They're expensive. They're $800. But the other family members do it, you know, a whole lot cheaper. And if one of them cranks you up, folks, you get cranked up. Period. We save animals. We do. We're here for everyone and everything. Shouldn't we be? For myself and my family, the answer is yes. For me personally, yes. I have serious protection issues. Sometimes you can pick that off. Everything's paramount to me. I'm part of this creation. I'm something outside of it, though. All I want to do is everything I can for everyone. I've proven that all my life. I have the financial records that prove it. The lawyers have proven it. Folks, I love you, man. Whatever you want to do, fine. As long as you don't get abusive towards others or try to stop the new awakening from happening, you'll never be hurt. You just do whatever you want. Times are changing. They're going to change, and nothing can stop it. The strongest thing there is anywhere, and it's been like this for a long time, is Arae. And he doesn't give a damn about himself. But everything else, it means everything to him. And Lily is the same way. It's like having a big brother and a big sister that all they care about is taking care of you. So it's not a bad thing. Everything's changing for the better. But I told you the friends from space, I told you animals were leaving, they did. They have been. It happened, is what I'm trying to say, and it's going to continue. You'll see that strong very soon. Still happening now. Anyway, excuse me. I told you our friends are coming in from outer space. They are. They're going. It's coming out everywhere. I told you about the war, what's happening. Boom, here they come. Again, there's no whoopee J here. There's look, listen, see. Try to understand what's going on. Try and understand the validity of the information I give you. Why? So you can promote yourself. So you can become more aware. So you can have a little faith in something that actually doesn't want to take anything from you. I've had people say, Jay, you can crank people up, you should do it for free. Really? I've got degenerative joint disease. My body's falling apart. I'm not crippled, but I'm handicapped. I can't hardly even stand for 20 seconds. However, I just give away all this money. The money comes in, it goes right out to everyone else, plus making sure that the spiritualfoundation.com stays here to help you. And it's nothing will stop it. This is about everything, everywhere. Finally being free, but it's about you having the opportunity, the ability, especially, which increases as you increase your personal metaphysical abilities, which are already part of you, to enhance yourselves, life, understand it. The stronger you are, the easier it is to understand things. Why not make the best decision you can by becoming more you? It's already part of you. Why not open that door? It's like having a right and left arm and you don't use your left arm. Why? I don't know. Folks, I love you, man. Take care. Just keep going.